Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Judy here. If you fight for freedom, democracy, human rights, and science, you've come to the right place. I upload weekly to this series which talks about dictators and more. Before we dive into today's topic, please allow me to thank the friends who bought me coffee from my website last week. Thank you so much for your kind support, my friends. Thank you. My friends, if you're not new to this channel, you know I'm studying many dictators and dictatorships, and I've talked about some of them in my previous videos. But if you're a new friend and haven't watched those videos, please check them out in the description or comments. By the way, if you like the content on this channel, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. I appreciate your support sincerely. And my friends, you know, more and more people deserve to know that dictatorships are never good for anyone, especially for ordinary people. And I don't want to see another country, especially the free world America, falling into the hands of a dictator. Yes, I've been warning people that no one is safe in a dictatorship, that ordinary people suffer the most in a dictatorship, no matter which side they are with. And like I always say, I don't think there's left or right. I believe there are only billionaire class and ordinary people. I feel sad when I hear ordinary Trumpers want something that's only good for billionaires. Yes, they are brainwashed by billionaires like Trump. They believe policies that give billionaires more benefits are somehow good for them, ordinary Trumpers. But really, I hope they could think with their own brains. Then they would understand that those policies are not good for them, that no one is safe in a dictatorship, including the dictator's allies, helpers, and enablers. Yeah, I've talked about it many times, and I've given you various examples that have happened in human history. And today, I'm gonna talk about an example that has just happened recently in the US. You guessed it. Today, I'm gonna talk about MTG. I bet you heard that Marjorie Taylor Greene has announced her resignation from Congress effective January 2026. If you haven't watched her resignation announcement video, here it is.
Hi, everyone. I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans to hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweethearts, American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future and don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. I ran for Congress in 2020 and have fought every single day believing that Make America Great Again meant America first. I have one of the most conservative voting records in Congress, defending the First Amendment, Second Amendment, unborn babies because I believe God creates life at conception, and I love to fight for the little guy. Strong, safe borders, I have fought hard for that. I've fought against COVID tyrannical insanity and mandated mass vaccinations, and I've never voted to fund foreign wars with your hard-earned tax dollars. However, with almost 1 year into our majority, the legislature has been mostly sidelined. We endured an 8-week shutdown, wrongly, resulting in the House not working for the entire time, and we are entering campaign season, which means all courage leaves and only safe campaign re-election mode is turned on in the House of Representatives. During the longest shutdown in our nation's history, I raged against my own speaker and my own party for refusing to proactively work diligently to pass the plan to save Americans' health care and protect Americans from outrageous, overpriced, and unaffordable health insurance policies. The House should have been in session working every day to fix this disaster. But instead, America was force-fed disgusting political drama once again from both sides of the aisle on television every single day. My bills, which reflect many of President Trump's executive orders, like calling for a new census counting Americans only to draw new districts, making English the official language of the U.S., making it a felony to medically trans a minor, and other bills like eliminating capital gains taxes on the sale of your primary home and eliminating H-1B visas they all sit collecting dust. That's how it is for most members of Congress bills. The Speaker never brings them to the floor for a vote. Many common Americans are no longer easily convinced by paid political propaganda spokespersons and consultants on TV and paid shills on social media obediently serving with cult-like conviction to force others to swallow the political party talking points. Because they know how much credit card debt they have, they know how much their bills have gone up over the past 5 years, they actually do their own grocery shopping and know food costs too much, their rent has increasingly gone up and up. They have been outbid by corporate asset managers too many times when they put in an offer to buy a house. They have been laid off after being forced to train their visa-holding replacement. The college degree they were told to earn only left them in debt with no big six-figure salary. They see more homeless people than ever on their own community streets. They can't afford health insurance or practically any insurance, and they just aren't stupid.
Yes, this is just a part of the video. If you like, you can watch the whole video on YouTube. So, MTG announced that she would be resigning, and Donald Trump called it, quote, great news for the country, unquote. Why? MTG could be considered as one of his big allies, helpers, and enablers. So why 5 years later, Trump called her a traitor, called her resignation great news? Well, it's because she'd been pushing for the release of the Epstein files. Yeah, according to her own words, she's never owed Trump anything. She fought for him, but they called her a traitor for standing with the women who were trafficked and abused by Epstein. Speaking of Epstein, you know that I've talked about him. He was jailed and died during the first Trump administration. Some people believe that he killed himself, and some others think that it was murder. I don't know the answer, but according to the history that I know of, people like Epstein barely have happy endings. They are usually killed by powerful people simply because they know too much. Anyway, Trump had opposed the bill ordering the release of Epstein files until the last minute when he knew that there was no way for him to stop the bill from being passed in Congress. If you know enough about Trump's past, you'd understand why he was furious with MPG for backing the bill, but demanding the release of the Epstein files. And just because of this, Trump called her a traitor and took back his endorsement of her. MPG said after Trump's rhetoric against her, she began receiving threats against her life. Hence her resignation. See, once you disagree with a dictator, your life will be in danger, even if you're their ally, helper, or enabler, because no one is safe in a dictatorship. Again, I'm warning you, my friends, a dictatorship is never good for anyone, especially for commoners. In case you don't know me yet, I'm Judy Faye London, a fan of Jack London. I'm a public writer who writes fiction and non-fiction novels and short stories. You're very welcome to visit my website, judyfaylondon.com, or Amazon to read my poems and my short stories. The last one, Mr. Rat, Candy the Dog, and so on, and my latest non-fiction book, Living with the Walking Dead, a roadmap for achieving your own success. I hope to see you there, and thank you so much for your kind support, and thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channels, Judy Faye London and Judy Plus. Judy Faye London is a channel that mainly talks about culture, economics, and dictators and various events and people in human history, while Judy Plus is a channel that talks about interesting discoveries in the world of science.